Last week at round one, Kawasaki's Joey Savacci and Suzuki's Ken Roczen drew first blood in the battle for the 2016 title.
Joey Savacci's going to do it the right way. He goes 1-1 at Hangtown. Ken Roczen dominates it in Hangtown.
The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship comes to Southern California for round two. Moto 1 comes to you live on MAV TV.
They say that Southern California is the heart of motocross. It's a very big heart, a very unique racetrack for round two of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing, the FMF Glen Helen National. Hello everyone, Jason Wygant, joined by multi-time winner here at Glen Helen, Grant Langston. As I like to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is an 11 as far as motocross is concerned. Glen Helen, the speeds, the jumps, the hills, the obstacles, there's no track in the world quite like this.
No, there definitely isn't, Jason. Glen Helen, very unique, special place for a lot of riders, including myself. What gnarliest track you'll ever race. I mean, big hills, this track gets rough, and now add in a bunch of gnarly jump sections they put in here for this national. It's going to be really chaotic. But earlier today, Eli Tomac on the 450 looking like the old Eli Tomac from 2015. He was fast by quite a bit. And then in the 250s, Cooper Webb coming back from this broken wrist. Obviously it's getting better because he looked really good in practice, and I'm expecting big things from him as well today.
Let's show you how we go racing here today on MAV TV. Two classes, of course, 250cc engines and then 450cc bikes will be up in the next hour, and they each race two motos. Second motos will be on live this afternoon on NBCSN. We'll total up the moto scores of both races in both classes to come up with both overall winners for the day. This is round 2 of 12 to determine our 2016 champions. Let's introduce Georgia Lindsay to the show here at the GoPro starting gate.
Taking third overall at the first race at Hangtown was Cooper Webb. Now, Cooper, we know you have that injury on your wrist. However, you said you had a CT scan. It looks like it's healing, but it must have been really tough to work through that pain. And this weekend at a track like Glen Helen, qualifying first as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's going good. I qualified first. I was stoked on that, and the wrist is healing, so it's all good news. And yeah, I like Glen Helen. I always enjoy this race, and I feel like I do really well here. So looking forward to going out there and doing the best I can. Hopefully get a good start and try to be on top of that box.
Thanks, Coop.
Webb fastest in the first qualifying. The second session was a little bit slower and rougher. Austin Forkner, the rookie, was on top. We'll be right back.
The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship is brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you can save on motorcycle insurance.
We are back about 5 minutes away from dropping the gate on the first 250 moto here at Glen Helen Raceway. Even though Joey Savacci did win last week, well, there's still a lot of riders that are in this one and hope to take the victory. And if they want to do it, what are the KTM keys to the moto to help get that victory?
Well, here at Glen Helen, the hills are big, so they are very important. Lots of time to be lost or gained, and great passing opportunities. Of course, Glen Helen, a brutal track. We're going to see some guys going down who can eliminate the mistakes and jumps. We got huge jumps, we got timing jumps, we got rutted jumps. They have everything out here. So not only do you have all those elements, but add in the ruts and then the shadows later in the day. It's going to be technical, but let's have a look at the Kawasaki track map. Glen Helen has a fantastic long start all the way up the hill past the Fran Mechanics area, where they'll get their pit board, sweeping through the big Bank Talladega turn. Hopefully you get that whole shot, see the whole shot line, drop down into the middle part of the track, then back up the Western Power Sport Fly Hill, turn, drop off, pretty good drop off here, dropping about 30 to 40 feet down, landing halfway down the hill, then turn, and really crucial to get a drive up this hill here, shifting at the right spot, doing everything correctly, getting your body weight on the brakes, turn, and then back down the hill on the throttle. Big braking bumps usually at the bottom by the end of the day, and then back into the canyon. A little more rocky back here, a little less sand over the Lucas Oil step up. A lot of elevation at Glen Helen. The track map here doesn't even really do it justice.
These hills are ridiculous.
And you don't. And in the minute you power up the hill, it's brake, turn, and then straight back down the hill. Then we come into this part of this track, Jason, we were watching earlier. Unbelievable. They come up this hill. They hit this bank tabletop. It looks a little bit different in person. Then third, fourth, even fifth gear on the 250s. 180-plus feet over this gigantic triple step up. The fans are loving it. I have personally enjoyed it myself. Then they step back down. Then you get into a little more tighter section. This part of the track gets very rutted. You'll see a lot of lines developing, and it'll change throughout the race. Over the tunnel jump, over the Lucas Oil finish line, and then this is where I was talking about these other jumps. A lot of timing through these next 3 straightaways. We've seen guys doubling, tripling, and then if you make a mistake, Jason, sometimes you actually have to hit the brakes to get your rhythm back going. I think in the 250 it's going to be very important to get through there clean every lap.
Fans here having a tough time deciding what obstacle they want to see. Do you want to see the hills, those supercross sections toward the finish? Do you want to see that 180-foot triple step up? That's one of the good things about Glen Helen. Now, we have the folks from Lit Pro helping us out this year, giving us onboard data with the machines. We're going to compare a 250 Joey Savacci and a 450 Ken Roczen from practice, and where you can gain and lose time on these hills depending on the engine you're running.
Well, you can see also slightly different lines, and look at that miles per hour going up the biggest hill. Ken Roczen is 0.3 ahead. But look at the speed. It's only about a mile-an-hour difference, but that's pretty good.
It adds up.
Exactly.
All the way up those big hills.
All the way up the hill. And then, but now have a look at this. This is kind of interesting. Look at the speed down the hill. Savacci, quicker than Roczen on the 250. You ask, how could that be?
Yeah.
When you're going down the hill on 250 with less weight and less inertia, you can actually go through the rough stuff faster.
So Roczen a little bit quicker up the hill, Savacci a little faster down the hill. It works out almost the same in the end. So good work there by the boys from Lit Pro to compare the bikes on these hills. We'll give you the GoPro track preview. We saw the camera mounted atop of Justin Hill on the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull KTM.
Oh, we can see a little carnage from practice.
Oh, yeah.
Track a lot wetter and smoother early on. It's getting really rough. Really, especially down here, you'll see these ruts really get deep, and that's a very tough turn coming. It's a second turn off the start, and we saw last year a lot of top riders going down up this kind of a horsepower type hill. Make the right, and then you'll see here there's one little crest, and then they launch back down the hill. Hear that hard on the gas and then hard on the brakes, trying to gain every ounce of speed. And then up the hill, here we go. Release all the ponies. Let's go. Let's just get the drive. You hear them wide open. Back on the brakes, and then yeah, now you look at the earth. There it is. It all reappears once again.
Yeah, and again, it's just never quite the same as it is in person. That hill is so steep, just downright scary. Good job by Justin Hill there. There's Joey Savacci, your points leader by a huge margin. Everyone else inconsistent last week. He won both motos. He has the red plate of the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki as the points leader.
And look who's lined up next to him. Cooper Webb, our fastest man from earlier practice. This is going to be interesting because I know with these guys, whoever gets a jump, they're going to lean on the guy next to them. So keep an eye on that.
We got Alex Fry there to our left and Adam Cincerillo on the 44 to their right. So we'll see how this all turns out. Less than a minute now to dropping the gate at Glen Helen. Yes, Savacci was dominant last week with the 2 moto wins, but it's way too early in the season to start guaranteeing anything that could happen in this moto. And I think that's one of the most exciting things about this, especially in the 250 class. Just survey this whole gate. There's no way to predict what's going to happen.
It really isn't. I mean, you know, people ask me what I think. I tell you what, I think it's going to be a great race because there's so much talent and depth, and there's so many guys that are fast at this track because a lot of these teams use this place to do a lot of testing, development, getting the bike set up. You see the 30-second fly card up, heart rate's getting up, butterflies are going.
And this is arguably, I would think, the fastest start straight that we have in the sport. The first turn is definitely the fastest because of the 45-degree Talladega banking. They will just go wide open all the way through it. So if somebody gets the elbows out in front of you here, you're going to be eating a lot of rocks and roots. Let's unleash it here at Glen Helen.
Well, it's going to be a long drag race. Look at the guys hanging off the back of the rear fender. We see a few Yamahas and
Tristan Charbonneau, rookie on the 403. Will he lead them all the way around Talladega? It looks like he is. A couple of the Yamahas trying to tuck in with him. Jeremy Martin, your champion from last year, the #1, right there in second. And he's got his brother Alex and Cooper Webb there.
Oh, unable to get up the do that double. Look at that through the middle. Amart.
Amart on fire. He was second in a moto here last year, second in a moto last week. Pulls a tear off, takes the lead. Big Al has come to play at Glen Helen. What has happened to this guy? He's gone to another level.
Well, his brother there running the #1 plate must be going, this is not how it was scripted to go. I'm supposed to take the lead. But look at how many of the Star Racing Yamaha Loop riders near the front. So I'm just wondering if these guys are pushing some good horsepower, because on that drag down to the first turn, there was a lot of blue appearing near the front. So they've got something figured out over there.
Team owner Bobby Regan told me that this morning. He said, you're just going to see a sea of blue today up front, and that's exactly what it looks like, except for Charbonneau and that Geico Honda in second, who's sandwiched in between the Yamahas right now. You got Cooper Webb in the 17.
He's gotten around Martin as well.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, we've seen a little bit of this, Jason,
yes.
and I don't think it's any reason to get nervous. I know last week we started saying, well, usually he starts picking it up, and I think he struggled. But this is a track. Give J Mart a few more laps once he knows the lines and the ruts. This is at 180 plus. Look at that over the camera. It's so spectacular in person.
I think that's Austin Forkner coming through next on that Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki right behind them. So he's going to try to challenge these two Yamaha riders, Webb and Martin. Kind of surprising to see Jeremy Martin without the red background behind the number one. Had to give that up now that he no longer has the points lead. Had a third and a ninth last week and was riding with a bit of a head cold. But he said, honestly, I don't want to make excuses. This class is fast. These guys are good. It's hard to win these races, even if I'm champ. Georgia Lindsay, what are you hearing about J Mart?
Yes, I spoke to him earlier, and he said last week I was feeling pretty sick. He was struggling to breathe when he was on the starting line. He kind of had a sinus block nose deal. And he said he's a little better, but it's still lingering. And stuff like that really does take the energy out of you as well. And obviously with sweating and everything going on in your face, it's really hard to breathe.
I think he can be very thankful that this is unusually cool for the opening two rounds between Hangtown and Glen Helen. Look at that little wheel tap. Oh,
yeah, Webb getting around Charbonneau here for a second. Go ahead, Grant.
Yeah, that's that section I was saying where there's time limit made losses through the rhythm section there, and you saw J Mart trying to triple through there, and I think you're going to see some variations as that deteriorates. You're going to see guys trying to call it alternative rhythms, so they're not taking off the jump faces, they're actually landing on the backside.
Looking for Savaji, 16th place for your points leader after the end of lap one. So turnabout fair play in racing. He had two good starts last week. Now he's going to work his way forward. There he is with the red background. So yeah, 16th on lap one. Trying to make a move right now on the 38 of Christian Craig.
It's crazy. We talked about his huge point lead. The way they run right now, he'd lose the points lead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how quickly things can change, because he's second in points.
He would lose it to this guy.
Yeah.
Alex Martin, who is just yarding the field right now. 2-second lead at the end of lap one. Unbelievable when Martin stepped over that rut.
That's very common here at Glen Helen, because you're coming down the hills, you're braking so hard that the rear is off the ground. It's not loaded, and then you get a little sideways and you miss that rut, get cross-rutted, but really corrected that very quickly and easily. There's a good scrap going on here.
Right, yeah, Charbonneau, only his second pro race, taking nothing from these two veteran riders who have won plenty of races around him. Webb and Jeremy Martin, he's battling with them tooth and nail. Look at him go down to the inside and even showing a wheel to Webb.
Good line there from Charbonneau. You see, he just stayed inside of the braking bumps and then kind of jumped across the braking bumps to the outside. Very creative for a youngster, so got to say, really impressed with his poise and how he seems comfortable. Like you said, he's surrounded by some pretty heavy artillery right there.
Yeah.
Supercross champs, national champs, that kind of stuff, but not phased at all.
And a pretty cool story with Charbonneau. It really wasn't his results as an amateur that made the Geico team bump him up a little early into the pro ranks. They just had him riding and training with the other pro riders on the team during the week. And they were impressed. They said he's going as fast as the other guys. Might as well give him a shot. And he has obviously rewarded them. Great performance, 6th in a moto last week. And now mixing it up, like you said, with some heavy artillery here. And even distancing himself a little bit from your champ.
Yeah, really impressive. It's one thing to go as fast as your teammates at the same track when you're riding together during the week. It's another thing to line up and then be in the middle of a battle and be out of your element. And that's what I'm impressed with this youngster.
And how about Cooper Webb in second, who now is starting to close just a tad. Can see Alex Martin just ahead. Now, it said that Martin was 3.1 seconds ahead a few corners ago when they got to the finish. And now Webb seems to be a little bit closer than that.
Oh, yeah.
So it must have been a mistake. You knew that rhythm lane would be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be not just tough to do it once, but you do it consistently every lap is going to be the really hard part. I mean, these guys are very talented, but to try and nail that roughly how many times, probably 15, 16 laps, it's going to be hard to nail it. And that right there, you can see, probably chopped that lead in half.
It did.
Yeah,
now
lost over a second.
Yep. Now it's down to about 2 seconds. So Cooper Webb trying to close back in on his Yamaluke Star Racing Yamaha teammate Alex Martin, who's almost just as quickly pulled it back out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, there goes J Mart. I think Charbonneau might have used the inside. I don't know if we missed him. I think we missed him. We'll see as they get back to the top of the hill. A couple other riders battling. Fortner, the 23 of Plessinger. There's Charbonneau at the back. 403 of that battle.
Down.
Yep.
He went down somewhere.
So now it's the other rookie. Oh, no, that's actually Shin Cirillo on the 44. Fortner just ahead of this group.
Now that Cincerillo's got the start, it'd be nice to see what he can do.
Right.
He's, you know, hey, Plessinger, that's not a bad start for him. He's actually, what, in the top 10, 7th place. So this early in the race for Aaron Plessinger, he's going to be happy with that.
Yeah, you see the 13th in the standings. Not, I'm sure, the finish that AC wanted at the opener, but 2 bad starts and also a crash. We never really got to see him. And it was the same thing for Plessinger. Didn't get the starts he wanted last week. What are you hearing on the 23, Georgia?
Yes, I saw him at press day in this morning, and he had his shoulder taped up. And this was because on Tuesday, he had a pro ride day at Cheney Ranch in California. He said he endoed, had a big crash. He kind of landed on it a bit. It's a little bit sore, but he said it's not going to affect me in the race. But, you know, a lot of these guys, they got tape in all sorts of places.
Yeah, it's always so hard to figure out, what's considered a real injury in motocross. There's ones you can ride with, there's ones you can't ride with, but everybody's dealing with something. So Plessinger and Cincerillo, who've been racing each other for years, even back in the mini bike days, they are 6th and 7th, trying to close on Hampshire, who's 5th. Justin Barsha and the 450 crew, they're racing the next hour. We'll talk to Barsha when we return. Every week on Titan, we're going to show you great American companies that are manufacturing and doing it big right here in America. And we'll teach you some advanced manufacturing techniques to show you how we can bring work back to our shores. Let's put Americans back to work. Titan, Monday, 9 Eastern and Pacific on MAV TV. Let's send it to Georgia Lindsay. Justin Barsha going to be racing in the next hour.
Justin Barsha, JGR Yamaha. We are watching the 250 race, but we cannot forget you have your race coming up, the first 450 moto of the day. How are you feeling and watching the track right now? Is it giving you some lines?
Yeah, for sure. Feeling good. The 250 guys are ripping it up out there right now. Some big hills today, pretty high speed. It's going to get super rough, so got to get a good start. My bike's pretty fast, so we should rock it out pretty good and put ourselves in a good position. But it's gonna be a good day. I'm having some fun and some nice jumps out there, so it's good.
Perfect. Thank you, Justin.
Barsha is, what you
Even
got
he
there?
mentioned the jumps.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a guy who's usually not scared at all, but this is a whole other level when you come to this track.
Well, even like after that big 180-foot jump, they turn. When they step down to get everything out of it, they seat bounce down that hill. So they're going up and the track's falling away. You look, you go, man, they're like 4 or 5 stories up. Look at this. These two.
Yeah, Jeremy Martin closing back in on Cooper Webb, but this is a battle for second because Alex Martin is 4.2 seconds gone in the lead. 3 Yamalude Star Racing Yamahas at the top of the charts right now.
You know what I'm kind of just waiting, you kind of feel might unfold, is these two want to beat each other. They kept it very corporate, very politically correct off the track. But you got that feeling like as this season goes on, if they're going to become the title contenders, when are the gloves going to come off?
Yes.
And when is it going to become, when we're going to see a divide down the middle of the pits? Because you got that feeling like it might happen. Not saying
Yamaha
it
knows,
where
Yamaha knows where they can get one of those screens if they need it. It's go to the MotoGP team.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now, remember, Savacci won the motos last week, and Alex Martin's getting away. It is far from a private championship fight between these two. They're battling each other while Alex Martin just continues to pull away. Now it's 4.4 seconds.
Yeah, he's just gaining everywhere. I mean, his pace right now is awesome.
You've got Fortner 4th, Hampshire another good run. He is 5th. Plessinger, Charbonneau 7th. They've gotten around Cincerillo, pushed back to 8th. McElrath and Tonis rounding out the top 10 here early at Glen Helen. Here's Fortner.
Battling to hang on to the blue crew.
Yep. Savacci, by the way, your points leader, 15th, not really moving up after being 16th earlier. Here is Plessinger. He's easy to pick out. Long, lanky kid. He's starting to put little press right now on Hampshire in front of him, and Hampshire not too far back from Fortner. That's 4th, 5th, 6th.
We can't take our eyes off this battle. No. We haven't seen a whole lot of action yet. You know, it's just around the corner. Look at the fans. I must say, great turnout and crowd today.
Yeah.
There's a huge crowd out there. But here in Southern California, they love their motocross. Oh, a little mistake there from Webb. Look, he's lost the drive. Let's see how he can correct it. Yep. Able to correct it quite easily.
But he lost some time for sure.
Yeah.
Jeremy Martin closing in. Because we
He
back
recovered quickly, otherwise he would have lost his spot. But great recovery after he made a little mistake coming out of the corner.
Well, I want to ask you, that's Supercross type terrain as far as nailing doubles and triples, but this soil gets so much rougher than what you deal with in Supercross. That's tough to mix those two together.
What's the toughest Supercross race? Daytona.
Ruts? Yeah, there you go.
So it's a little bit like Daytona down there. It just gets really brutal. Now it's still okay, but just wait till second moto.
Yeah, I've heard guys like you say, it's one thing to do jumps. It's another one to do it when there's holes and ruts and you're tired.
Oh, and then let's add in there might be shadows as well because of the way the sun moves, and then that gets really sketchy.
So all the ground that Jeremy Martin made up, it looks like Webb able to pull it back out just a little in these last couple of corners up and down the hills. And the pursuit of Alex Martin continues. They've actually got it back under 4 seconds. It was 4.2, then 4.4. Now the gap is 3.8 between your leader and Webb here in second. We got a calm before the storm with these two?
I think so, because I think with Jeremy Martin, he's a second half of the moto kind of guy. Not saying Cooper Webb isn't, but I think J Mart will pick it up a little bit, which will in turn put the pressure on Cooper. That's when it's going to get interesting.
All right, and we'll see if Alex can hang on out front. They've got about 4 seconds, these two, on the 4th place rider, Fortner, then Hampshire in 5th. So they can battle with each other all they want. They don't have to deal really with Fortner. He's not quite close enough to show a wheel to them. Here's that big jump, about 180 feet. Here's Fortner. He's still going fast, though.
He's trying. He's hanging on. He's doing great right now. I mean, I've got to say, the biggest disappointment so far has got to be Savachi. He really hasn't made much progress. I mean, look at the gap on track, not even the positions.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, what, almost 42 seconds off the leaders now.
14th place.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through the moto, so. But like you said, Plessinger, he always has good pace, Jason, and it's usually a theme. Aaron Plessinger coming from behind and trying to make a pass in the second half of the race.
This is, Plessinger trying to get Hampshire. That would be for 5th. Oh, different line choice by Plessinger. Made a little mistake. This is where we head into the finish line, and then we've got those Supercross type obstacles.
You see where he went. He changed his lineup. There's actually a split section there before the finish line, so you have to pick inside, outside. Oh, we're halfway through this race, Jason.
I went quick. Watching the Geico Honda rider, Hampshire. He's got 15 minutes down in this moto and 15 more minutes to try to hold off Plessinger in that amount of time. You can call Geico and save 15% or more on your insurance. Eat some insurance for this section. I mean, you make one little mistake and you could be in some big trouble. Plessinger trying to close in on RJ Hampshire. Now again, after this race concludes, we'll have our 450 race, and we'll have some news for you coming up. James Stewart trying to return to racing today after popping his shoulder out last week. Georgia Lindsay will catch up with him for the latest when we return. This ain't your papa's tractor. It's full throttle action with shields down, thousands of horsepower, full pull. Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League, traveling to tracks all over the U.S. Check it out Sunday 4 Eastern and Pacific, only on the MAP TV Motorsports Network. Georgia Lindsay has James Stewart in the Yoshimura Suzuki pits. Georgia.
The number 7 Yoshimura Suzuki, James Stewart. Now, last weekend at Hangtown, you did have that crash. You injured your shoulder. However, you went out this morning. You tried qualifying, but just not feeling it for the race, I imagine.
Yeah, last weekend I ended up dislocating my shoulder. So I went to the doctor. He advised me I need to be at home for a couple of weeks, but, you know, we're hard-headed. So, I don't know. I wanted to come try. My season hasn't been going that great, so I thought maybe I'd be able to do it. But the second practice, I was flopping around out there, and I'm like, I don't want to pull off or get injured. So we try see how we feel this week and go next weekend. But just bummed out. But at the same time, you know, I can only do what I can do. So, you know, I'm happy I tried, but bummed I'm not racing. So we'll see.
We'll hopefully see you next weekend at Lakewood. Thanks, James.
I just can't believe he even gave it a shot. And at one point, I think we saw him 12th or 13th quickest. I mean, the shoulder pops out. You don't normally get back on the track a week later. Speed is okay.
I was just thinking the same thing. James Stewart's probably going, man, really, you have to follow Glen Helen the following weekend.
Yeah.
Just get any other track just about. Right. This has got to be the most physically demanding track. And this guy.
This is just unbelievable. I don't really have words. Alex Martin, a long-time journeyman, was stuck on in the privateer ranks for a long time. Really,
he was like a people's champion. I felt like he was always the top non-factory rider that was in there at times. And Sorry to interrupt, Jason.
No,
Great
good.
family as well. You know, the Martins, they got Millville. So you kind of like seeing something like this have his time to shine.
And anytime he would, battle or maybe get on the podium, I think everybody was pumped, like, oh, good for Alex. But I don't think anyone's expecting it, to just be a weekly, regular thing. And he's just gotten better and better every year. Big breakthrough. And I know he's really tight with the folks at the CycleTrader.com Rock River Yamaha team that gave him a good break the last few years. Now he's got promoted to the full factory Yamaluke Star Racing Yamaha team. Supercross wasn't that good for him. Had to refine his training technique and picked up with your fellow South African Gareth Swanepoel. Really seems to have things working right now.
Swanepoel just definitely seems to have
lazy.
Yeah. He's basically saying don't slack off. You've got this under control, but don't get into conservation mode. But Gareth Swanepoel having a great success with these guys. Great camaraderie. I know they have fun while working hard.
Now, this is not fun for Joey Savacci coming in with the points lead. Struggling after a bad start. Now 13th. Just
12th now.
Okay.
Someone's dropping.
Didn't make up a lot of ground after we saw him 16th on lap 1. So he's made 3 passes in the last 20 minutes.
I think 2 of them were crashes.
Wow.
So, yeah. I don't know if that red number plate carries that much weight or... Yeah.
Trying to get...
I put it this way, I just expected a lot more from Savacci on a track that he knows. But look how much talent there is. So even if he might be a few tenths quicker than some of the guys in front of him, he's 51 seconds behind the leader. It's tough to make up 51 seconds, no matter who you are.
Right now he's just trying to get the 128 of Alex Fry, sophomore pro on the Troy Lee KTM. He's got him here. A little mistake by Fry using that middle line. And Savacci eats him up. But, hey, the giant 15-point lead that Savacci had, which was ridiculous to have that big a lead after one race, that might all be gone. Not only were we talking about Alex Martin maybe winning the moto, but the points leader by the time this one is over. He'll score 25 points if he holds on to win it. Savacci, that would be 11th now that he's gotten Fry. Maybe about 12 points, so it's going to be almost even between them when this one is done. Wow.
Yeah, and like you said, too early to really get into the whole championship thing. But I think the big picture is right now is for Savacci. This is not a championship performance.
Yeah.
And he's got to go back to the pits and figure something out. I can't imagine Mitch Payton smiling at the moment.
Yeah, this is one of those things he doesn't need us to tell him. I'm sure he's not happy about being back at 11th place right now. Let's see who would be next on the order for him to be Osborne, but it's 7 seconds further ahead is Osborne and the Rockstar Husky. Here's Osborne's buddy, Alex Martin. I saw them talking before practice, and Big Al here is just
keeping it going. Look at the gap.
6 seconds.
Yep. He's just keeps edging it out, creeping away.
Well, it would not be the first moto win ever for Alex Martin, but this would be a huge statement to do it like this. And plus,
we could say it's the first legitimate, actual legit.
Right, that was a mud race at Budds Creek. Today, perfect weather, a track that everybody knows. He made passes, he pulled away, they don't have an answer for him. Hey, First Motos are live all season right here on MAV TV for the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. So join us next week. We'll be on Mountain Time from Colorado. That's Lakewood, Colorado, and Thunder Valley. Question is, who will we be talking about as a rider with the momentum coming into that race?
It's changing by the week.
Honestly, it's changing by the lap because 1 lap ago, Alex Martin seemed to have this one. He had a 6-second lead. But Cooper Webb, in the waning moments, is putting on a charge. 2 seconds quicker the last time around.
I was going to say, look who's the only one circulating the 231s right now. Alex Martin, 233. Faulkner, 233. J. Martin. Oh, wait, what happened to J. Martin?
Faulkner has taken 3rd place away from Jeremy Martin. They're all running the 233 lap times except Webb with a 231. Webb,
man on a mission.
Is, yeah, absolutely. So he's taken what was a 6-second lead. He's brought it down to 3.5. Now the last split we got, it's down to 2 seconds.
We got just enough time for about 4 more laps, I believe. They'll finish this one. They might even have 5 laps. Webb might, look at the time. He might, for him, get a little bit lucky, meaning having that extra lap, because we know sometimes on this track at about 2.5 minutes, sometimes they just come in just before the 30-minute mark, and then they have to do another lap. A lot of times we've seen it where they end up doing one less lap in the second moto because the track slows down that much. Are we going to see that again today? I think Webb's hoping so.
Yeah, absolutely. Now on these longer sections, he's got to get a look. That was nice.
Jumping through the corner. They're getting creative. That's what you have to do at Glen Helen. As the track gets rougher, you have to start, I almost say, like being a bit of a ballerina. You've got to be light on your toes, and you want to hop around and try, instead of plowing into all the bumps, you want to try and hop around and, you know, double over him, wheel tap, you know, avoid him.
Really interesting. What has happened here? Is it that Alex has slowed down, or is Cooper speeding up?
I think Cooper's just picked it up, because I look at everyone else's lap times. He's 2 seconds quicker than anyone on the track right now. So Webb has just found another gear.
All right, so how long can Alex Martin hold him off? And how many laps will there be for him to do that? Here he is on the 26, your leader. Cooper Webb sneaking in, another lap down here.
Look how close it's going to be. They're lapping just over 2:30, and they cross the finish line.
Boy.
Oh, this is going to be so close.
Oh, so the next time around could be 2 laps to go or 3. So the big question is, how much time is Webb going to get, and how much time can he make up? Alex responded a little bit. He brought it down to 2:32 the last time around, but Webb just ran another 2:31, and now he's got him in his sights.
Webb's figuring out he can go to the inside, which is quicker, and still do the rhythm, and that's where he's making time right there. I just saw him chop probably a half second off in that corner, because I think what's happening is with it getting rougher, Alex Martin's gone to the outside to still be able to do the rhythm, but I think with Cooper Webb having the luxury of seeing that and going, well, hang on a second, I can still do the same rhythm from the inside, which is a shorter way around the track.
I cannot believe that he's made up this much ground this quickly. Alex really hanging it out now. This track is getting so rough on that uphill. Both of them throwing some serious body English into it to keep the bike straight at the top.
And this is when it gets tough. It gets really tough for Alex Martin at this point, because he's trying everything he can, and now he can almost feel Cooper Webb breathing down his neck. And for Cooper Webb, right now, you can just tell his adrenaline's through the roof. He's looking at this first moto win of the season. I'm going to take this. It's going to be a fun last couple laps.
Now, I think watching Alex Martin, you can tell he's trying to pick up the pace. He is trying to push it. He does not want Webb to get to him, but Webb is just on rails right now. Whoa, bouncing around with that rear end.
That's what you have to do around Glen Helen. It may not always be pretty, but you got to go down those hills and leave the braking as late as possible, which means these bikes start bouncing around on those braking bumps. A lot of blue flags, a lot of lappers. You see them looking over. Sometimes they don't even know where to go sometimes, because on a track like this, the lines vary so much that, you know, he might think, oh, I'll go to the... Oh, see, right there, right there.
That's Leaf, who got temporarily in Alex's way, but honestly, I think he sliced through there. He didn't lose any ground. He did all right.
Yeah, quick split second decision change there from Amon. But like you said, you know, same thing. Cooper's coming through these guys as well. So, you know, it's just, it's a little bit of luck of the draw, too, where you hit these guys sometimes. I mean, if they got a room like here where they can pull over, it makes it easy, but you catch them through these twisty windies to make things pretty interesting.
Yeah, look at this section up here in these ruts. If any of these riders bobble, there's nowhere to go. Alex, a little bit smoother out of that corner than he was the last few times around with those ruts. Really got him, but Cooper Webb also has really got him.
Look at the time.
3,
they're going to get it. They're going to get it.
2 laps to go. All right, but you know what? I don't know if it matters if it's 2 or 3 laps, because at this point, Webb has already caught him, and he doesn't need extra time. And he is right there.
And you can hear the crowd. They are jazzed up. They are pumped. They want to see a great battle. 2 laps to go.
Here's that inside you're talking about, Grant. Webb, can he pull off the rhythm from the inside?
That's exactly it.
He did. He takes the lead.
And that's the luxury of being behind, because now the problem is, now that Alex Martin goes, well, hang on, you actually can still do it from the inside. It's too late, though.
Right. He'd have to get right on him on the last lap, and all he's going to do is match him. Look at Alex down the inside, going to try to come back.
Wow, he got a great drive. You see him keep it tight, didn't hit the bumps. Webb actually got up on the, as we like to say sometimes, the crown molding there, the sidewall of the straightaway.
Look at Alex Martin trying all sorts of different lines. He went to the inside again.
Yeah, he wants this bad, which, you know, doesn't surprise me. I'm just saying, sometimes you see guys get past and they, you know, it defeats them. It just re-energized Amon. He's like, no, I want this. I've played the whole race.
Both use the outside line. There is an inside in this corner. We haven't seen many riders use it. They want the full run on this big uphill. It's Mount St. Helens.
You might see the 450s use the inside ball, but for 250s, it's all about the big Mo carrying that speed up the hill.
Well, try as Alex Martin might. Webb just stretching it out a little bit here as they come through lap traffic on the big downhill.
And these guys are pushing on. See how these ruts are starting to really get what we call hooks in them, where instead of being a nice arc, they have this part where the guys slam the bike into it and it gets like a hook. And that's why you saw even Alex Martin in some really tight sections of that deep rut. Almost, it hooked so hard he almost crashed coming out because you almost come back on yourself.
But then Alex was beautiful through some of those canyons through there, closed right back in on Webb. So they both have different sections of the track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, leg off for Webb. Another little inside line tucked by Martin to keep him close. There's that new jump, that triple step up. And then we're going to get down to the tight stuff as we come down from this hill. They are in different places on the track in every corner.
A lot of different lines. Look at Cooper's gone to the inside in some sections and to the outside in some sections. So very crafty. I mean, Cooper has obviously always been a fantastic rider, but I'm also really impressed right now with his line selection. He's riding very smart. He's figuring out this track. Basically, as the track was changing, Jason, he figured it out a little bit better than Alex Martin, to be honest. White flag, 1 to go.
Here we go. Can Webb hang on, get his first moto win of the year? Or will it be the first moto win of the year for Alex Martin, his teammate right behind him? Austin Fortner's third, Jeremy Martin fourth, Plessinger fifth, around Hampshire who's sixth, Charbonneau seventh, Osborne, Savaggi, Tonis, Cincerillo. It's your top 11, actually. Still going outside is Martin.
Yeah, surprising that he didn't pull the trigger and switch right there, because I think if he had done that, it would have kept him close enough to give him a chance on this last lap. But barring a mistake, I think Webb's going to have this one under control. I just don't see him blowing this, because it's basically about a second now.
You know, we were singing the praises of Alex Martin for most of this moto as he led, but let's talk about this guy who is basically not able to ride much at all during the week as his broken wrist continues to heal. They said he was at your ride day with the folks from Racer X at Cheney Ranch and rode a little bit on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then rode press day here on Thursday. Last week he rode one day. He's not getting in nearly the amount of riding that most of these riders do as he waits for that wrist to heal, and he's still winning races.
But you know what he has been doing? He's putting the time in off the bike. He's been working really, really hard with his trainer, Gareth Swanepoel. I see them quite a bit doing whatever they can to make sure his fitness stays at that elite level. And but you're right, Jason, it's still tough because there's no substitution for riding and doing motos and racing.
Yeah, most of these boys are on the bike 3 to 4 days a week. He's basically been on it a day, maybe a day and a half a week at best. And yes, the wrist is still broken. And also, it's the beginning of the outdoor season, so usually riders are kind of searching for bike setups and just kind of get in that outdoor mode. He's missing all that time.
Alex
still trying.
It's not from a lack of trying.
No.
I think when he watches his back, he's going to look and realize, okay, you know, I've learned something, which was what worked in the beginning of the moto didn't quite work at the end. And I think what happened was because he was pulling away and going so fast at the beginning, he didn't change his lines, whereas Cooper was trying to find the lines going, how do I gain time? Where can I make up time? Where's the main line?
And by the way, Cooper Webb's last lap was a 2:30.
Jeez.
That is his fastest lap of the moto, and I think the fastest of anyone.
Yep.
Wow, the fastest lap of the moto on the next to last lap for Cooper Webb. Bad wrist? What bad wrist? I didn't even expect this guy to show up and race Hangtown. Gets on the podium there, and now is looking to win the first moto here at Glen Helen. Boy, this guy is just an old-fashioned competitor. He just wants it bad, and good things happen when you do. Cooper Webb wins the moto. Alex Martin a little bit bummed.
Yeah,
he had a big lead at one point.
How about this kid?
Yeah.
Austin Faulkner, how about a podium in your third moto of your career? Hats off, congratulations. This kid's got a bright future. Look at him, he's happy. And so he should be. Fantastic.
Celebrate that. Absolutely. Good job by Austin Faulkner. Young man out of Missouri. Welcome to the podium. Welcome back to the podium for Cooper Webb. He came, he saw, he made it happen.
The Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championships is brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. And by Kawasaki, the Kawasaki KX, the bike that builds champions.
Well, Cooper Webb caught fire in the second half of this moto, next to last lap, logged the fastest lap of the race, and he ends up your first moto winner. Let's show you the highlights with our Lucas Oil race recap. It actually starts out with a different Yamaha rider leading this one early on. It was just a Yamaha parade. The 26 of Alex Martin wheeling around Tristan Charbonneau to get the #1 spot.
Yeah, he took the lead, and he was on fire the first part of the race. But like we were saying, I think later in the race, his line selection not as good, which opens up the door. So there's Christian Craig. We wondered what happened to him. Down. Looks like he's not getting up in a hurry. This track very tough, Jason, on the riders.
Yeah, and that's that rhythm lane right around here that we knew would be difficult. Here's Webb late in the race in the 17. Goes inside. The question was, could you jump this jump from the inside? He did, and he used it to take the lead from the 26 of Alex Martin. Strong performance. This guy is working his way back from injury and winning races while he's doing it. That's a scary thought for everybody else. Let's send it to Georgia on the podium.
Cooper Webb, unbelievable. Despite the injury, despite everything you've been going through, you said you liked Glen Helen. It's a treacherous track out there. How did you change up your lines and end up in first place?
I have no idea, to be honest. You know, the first half I didn't feel very good, and Jeremy was all over me. I was making a lot of mistakes, and I think he we tangled up in that rhythm section, and then finally got my head together after that and started riding like myself and put my head down and try to catch Alex, and was making some good time on him, and I knew it was going to come down to one of the last laps. So, well, there, did the best I could, got the win, first moto win of the year, and I'm stoked, and that'll heal the wrist injury.
Congratulations, well done, Cooper.
Yeah. That's what the doctor ordered. Go win a moto. That'll make your wrist feel better. Here are your results. More Yamaha domination. 4 bikes in the top 5. Split only by the rookie Austin Forkner in 3rd. Hampshire a good run. And late in the race, Joey Savacci did scratch and claw for a couple points to get in the top 10. Yeah, around his teammate Tonis to get 9th. That pushes Cincirillo, their other Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki man, out of the top 10 and 11th. There's the rest of the top 20. Let's send it to Georgia.
Unbelievable performance from you, Alex Martin. Congratulations. I know it's 2nd place, and I'm sure that you are disappointed, but do you think you can go back after this race, take a look at the lines, and think you can change things up to go out for a second better moto?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was the nerves are out now. You know, first moto I always ride a little bit tight. I don't know why, but you know, that's exactly what I was picturing myself doing all week, was getting out front, getting the whole shot, and just riding solid laps and being a first. And that's pretty much what I did for almost 30 plus 2. You know, I just got caught up with some lappers there at the end, and the nerves definitely kind of rattled me a little bit. I made like probably 5 or 6 big mistakes, and it allowed Coop to get the gap closed, and he just snuck on the inside over there in the corner. But it was a good race, and that's fun. We've had a lot of motos like that, us star teammates during the week, and so it was almost felt like routine practice, and it was fun to do it in front of this great crowd out here at Glen. And just big thanks to the Star Racing Yamaha Yamalube team.
Congratulations, well done, Alex.
Yeah, that might be the difference. He still hasn't won a lot of these where Webb has, so their nerves might have gotten to him. We'll see if he can turn it around and win Moto 2, and we'll have it starting live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon on NBCSN. Let's go back to Georgia.
Austin Forkner, it is your 2nd professional race, but your 1st moto podium, 3rd place. How does that feel? I'm sure it's something you've been dreaming of for a while.
Oh yeah, I'm just super excited just to get to racing, you know. There's been a lot of talk about how people think I'm going to do, how I'm going to do. I've been wondering myself how I'm going to do, but you really never know until you get to racing. So 8th at Hangtown last week, a fall in the 1st moto, and then pretty decent ride the 2nd moto. I'm just glad to get it out of the way and move on. And yeah, I'm so stoked on this on the 3rd, and just got to go back, get ready for the 2nd moto.
Well, congratulations. More to come from Austin Forkner, guys.
Yeah, you're right, Georgia. I doubt that's the last, although it was the first.